Welcome. Lean back and take a slow, deep breath. Leave the weight of today behind. Because tonight, together, we're drifting into the quiet embrace of the universe. Tonight, we're leaving Earth behind. Take one last look. The blue planet keeps turning beneath you. Silent. Peaceful. Its oceans, clouds, and continents, now part of a single glowing world. Only a few moments ago, it was your home. Now, it fits in the palm of your hand. Ahead of you, the endless darkness of space stretches into the distance. The same mystery humanity has looked up at for thousands of years. And tonight, our journey into that unknown begins. In front of you, space unfolds in complete silence. There is no wind here, no sound, because sound needs air to travel. And space is almost completely empty. Earth drifts farther away, second by second. Thousands of kilometers now separate you from home. But this is only the beginning. Our first destination, the Moon, almost 384,000 kilometers away. The first world humanity ever reached beyond Earth. And with every passing second, we're getting a little closer. The stars look brighter than they ever did from Earth. There's no atmosphere left to soften their light. Every one of them is unimaginably far away. Yet their light still finds you. Far ahead, the Moon begins to grow. Still distant, but becoming clearer with every passing moment. The average distance between Earth and the Moon is around 384,000 kilometers. The Apollo astronauts crossed that distance in about 3 days. But we have no reason to hurry. Tonight, we'll enjoy every kilometer of the journey. The Moon keeps growing larger. Its bright highlands and darker plains are becoming easier to see. From Earth, it always looked like a small gray circle. But from here, it's becoming an entirely different world. The Moon has almost no atmosphere, which is why the craters formed millions of years ago still remain almost unchanged. No wind, no rain, nothing to erase them. You watch quietly for a while, and then it hits you. The farthest world humanity has ever walked upon is waiting right in front of you. The Moon now fills the view before you. As you get closer, more and more details begin to appear. Deep craters, long mountain ranges, silent plains that have remained unchanged for billions of years. From Earth, the Moon always seems to show the same face. There's a reason for that. It rotates once on its axis in exactly the same time it takes to orbit Earth. That's why no one on Earth had ever seen the far side of the Moon until the space age. We drift a little closer. Now we're only minutes away from the place where humanity took its very first steps beyond Earth. The Moon now fills your entire view. Its surface looks far more rugged and real than it ever did from Earth. In just a few moments, we'll pass over the place where humanity first set foot on another world. This is the Sea of Tranquility. Despite its name, there isn't a single drop of water here. It's a vast plain formed by ancient lava that cooled billions of years ago. In 1969, Apollo 11 landed right here. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin took humanity's first steps across this silent landscape. More than half a century has passed, yet their footprints remain exactly where they were left. Because on the Moon, there is no wind, no rain, nothing to wash them away. Only silence. We begin to drift lower. Beneath us lies the landing site of Apollo 11. From up here, it looks surprisingly ordinary. Just a quiet stretch of gray terrain. But right here, on July 20th, 1969, humanity stepped onto another world for the very first time. Neil Armstrong spoke words that would be remembered forever. Today, there is nothing here that could hear them. Because sound cannot travel across the Moon, only silence remains. We drift a little closer. The paths the astronauts walked, the experiments they left behind, and even the descent stage of the lunar module are still here, untouched after all these years. The Moon has a remarkable way of preserving its history. A few more moments pass. Apollo 11 is now behind us. The lunar surface drifts quietly beneath us. From a distance, the Moon looks smooth and untouched. But up close, its surface is covered with countless scars. Almost every crater you can see was carved by the impact of another world. Some of them are far older than the dinosaurs. Here, time seems to move differently. We continue toward the lunar horizon. Before long, Earth disappears from view. The blue planet is gone. Above us, there is only endless darkness, filled with countless stars. The Moon rotates very slowly. One lunar day lasts almost 29 Earth days. If you were standing here, you would wait more than 2 weeks just to watch the sun rise. And now, we arrive on the far side of the Moon, the side that Earth has never seen. For centuries, no human knew what this place looked like. Then, in 1959, the Soviet spacecraft Luna 3 captured the very first images of this hidden world. There's something surprising about it. Although many people call it the dark side of the Moon, it isn't dark at all. Just like the side facing Earth, it receives sunlight. It simply never turns toward our home. We continue our silent journey. There are no footprints here. No landing sites. No signs that humans have ever passed this way. Only ancient mountains, deep craters, and endless plains stretching across the horizon. This side of the Moon looks very different. It has far more craters than the side facing Earth. For billions of years, it has taken the full force of impacts from space. Without an atmosphere, nothing slows them down. Every collision leaves its mark. As we glide onward, the darkness begins to soften. A thin line of light appears ahead. We're approaching the edge of the Moon once again. And just beyond that horizon, something extraordinary is waiting for us. A view seen by only a handful of human beings. The first sunrise of Earth. Slowly, a small blue glow begins to appear. Not because Earth is rising, but because we are moving. Little by little, our home emerges above the silent lunar horizon. For a few quiet moments, we simply watch the Earth against the darkness of space. It glows in shades of blue and white. From here, there are no borders, no countries, no cities, no roads. Everything blends together as a single living world. When the astronauts of Apollo 8 first witnessed this view in 1968, they captured a photograph that would become one of the most iconic images in human history. Its name was Earthrise. The rise of Earth. There's something fascinating about it. If you were standing on the moon, Earth would never truly rise or set. It would remain almost fixed in the same place in the sky. The only reason we can witness this breathtaking view is because we are moving in orbit. And now, as the moon slowly fades behind us, we turn toward an even deeper silence. Ahead of us, millions of kilometers of open space await. Our next destination, the largest planet in our solar system, Jupiter. Our journey toward Jupiter continues in silence. The moon is now far behind us. We travel on, without a sound. Only the endless silence of space keeps us company. With every passing minute, Earth grows a little farther away. The blue planet that once held every moment of our lives now looks like a tiny point of light. All of its oceans, its continents, its billions of people, everything has become part of a single pale dot. We continue drifting forward. The view hardly changes. At first, that might seem strange. But this is what space is really like. The distances are so immense that even after hours of traveling, your surroundings may appear almost exactly the same. The planets are much farther apart than most people imagine. The emptiness between them is almost beyond comprehension. We continue our quiet journey. The sun now appears just a little smaller. Its light is still bright, but it no longer feels as close as it once did. One last glance behind us, and Earth has nearly disappeared into the darkness. Ahead, millions of kilometers still lie before us. Time passes quietly, minute after minute. We continue through the darkness. There are no landmarks here, no signs, nothing to tell us how far we've traveled. Only the steady glow of the sun, following us from behind. Out here, distance feels different. On Earth, traveling a few hundred kilometers can take hours. But in space, even millions of kilometers can pass without anything appearing on the horizon. We continue drifting forward. The silence never changes. The darkness never ends. And somehow, that makes this journey feel even more peaceful. Far behind us, Earth has become almost impossible to find. Without knowing exactly where to look, you might never notice it at all. Our home, now blends into the sea of distant stars. Ahead, the empty space stretches on, patient, silent, endless, and somewhere beyond that vast darkness, the orbit of Mars is waiting for us. We continue our journey. For a long while, nothing seems to change. Then, in the distance, a faint red glow catches your eye. At first, it looks like another star, but with every passing minute, it grows just a little larger. Now, its shape is becoming clearer. It's Mars, one of the most fascinating planets in our solar system. For thousands of years, people looked up at that red light and wondered what it really was. Today, we know the answer. Mars is rich in iron. Over billions of years, those minerals reacted with oxygen, slowly giving the planet its familiar rusty color. That's why Mars can be recognized even from far away. We continue drifting forward. We're still far from our destination. But Mars is no longer just a tiny point of light. Little by little, its round silhouette begins to emerge from the darkness. And at last, we arrive at Jupiter. The world before us is larger than anything we've seen so far. If Earth were placed beside it, it would almost disappear. For a few quiet moments, we simply watch. The planet turns slowly. Its clouds never stop moving. Every band looks different from the one beside it. Shades of brown, cream, orange, and white stretch for thousands of kilometers around the planet. From this distance, everything seems calm. But in reality, nothing here is still. The clouds are constantly in motion. In some regions, the winds exceed 600 kilometers per hour. Even the most powerful hurricanes on Earth would seem gentle by comparison. We drift a little closer. The details within the clouds become easier to see. Some regions are bright. Others are deep copper in color. Each one moves at its own pace. Then, something enormous comes into view. Jupiter's most famous storm, the Great Red Spot. At first, it looks like a giant red island. But as we get closer, its slow, endless rotation becomes unmistakable. Astronomers have been observing this storm for centuries. The earliest records date back to the 17th century. And even today, it continues to spin. No one knows how much longer it will survive. We silently glide above it. Clouds along its edges curl toward the center. Colors blend together. No pattern remains the same for very long. From here, the entire planet seems to breathe. Gradually, the Great Red Spot slips behind us. But Jupiter still has more secrets to reveal. As we continue, one question naturally comes to mind. What lies beneath these clouds? If we kept descending, at first, very little would seem to change. The clouds would simply become denser. Farther down, the light would slowly fade. The winds would grow even stronger. But there would still be no solid ground beneath us. Because Jupiter is not a rocky world. Below these clouds, there is still gas, only compressed more and more with every kilometer. The pressure keeps rising. So does the temperature. Deep below, hydrogen begins to behave in unfamiliar ways. Scientists believe that far beneath the clouds, it forms vast layers of liquid hydrogen. And deeper still, it changes into something extraordinary. Metallic hydrogen, a strange form of matter that conducts electricity like a metal. Much of Jupiter's immense magnetic field is believed to be created deep within this hidden layer. We continue our journey. Jupiter slowly begins to fade behind us. But there is still much to discover. This giant planet is not alone. Dozens of moons travel around it. Some are small. Others are almost the size of planets. We now turn toward the first of them, Io. Even from a distance, it looks different. Its surface is covered with shades of yellow, orange, and black. At first, it appears peaceful. But in reality, Io is one of the most active worlds in the solar system. More than 400 volcanoes are scattered across its surface. Some of them launch ash and gas hundreds of kilometers into space. The reason is Jupiter's immense gravity. Its powerful pull constantly squeezes and stretches Io. This endless motion heats the moon from within, and its volcanoes never truly rest. For a while, we drift silently above its colorful surface. Every shade tells the story of ancient eruptions. Nothing here remains unchanged for very long. Eventually, we leave Io behind. Ahead of us, another world comes into view. Europa. At first glance, it looks completely frozen. A thick layer of ice covers almost the entire moon. But scientists believe that beneath this frozen shell lies a vast ocean. Perhaps one of the most promising places to search for life beyond Earth. For now, no one knows for certain. Europa still keeps its secrets. And quietly, we continue our journey. We continue our quiet journey. Europa slowly fades behind us. Ahead, another world comes into view. Ganymede. At first, it doesn't seem very different from the moons we've already seen. But in reality, we're approaching the largest moon in the entire solar system. It's so large that even the planet Mercury is smaller. For a while, we simply drift beside it. Looking closely, its surface tells two very different stories. Some regions are dark and ancient. Others are brighter, crossed by long, winding grooves that stretch across the landscape. These marks were formed billions of years ago, as the icy crust slowly shifted and cracked. Scientists believe that beneath this frozen shell, another vast ocean may be hidden. If that's true, there could be more liquid water beneath Ganymede. than in all of Earth's oceans combined. As we leave it behind, one final detail stays with us. Ganymede is the only moon we know that has its own magnetic field. A quiet reminder that this distant world is far more complex than it first appears. Our journey continues. Soon, another moon emerges from the darkness. Callisto. Its surface is darker than the others. As we draw closer, craters begin to appear everywhere. No matter where you look, another impact scar comes into view. Some are small. Others stretch for hundreds of kilometers. Callisto has one of the oldest surfaces in the solar system. For billions of years, it has remained almost unchanged. There is no wind, no rain, nothing to erase the marks left behind. Time itself feels almost frozen here. We spend a few quiet moments drifting above this ancient world. Then, we slowly turn back toward Jupiter. Once again, Jupiter fills the darkness before us. This time, we admire it from a little farther away. Its clouds are still moving. The great red spot is visible even from this distance. Its moons continue their endless journey around the giant planet. As we watch, it's easy to forget that this is only one planet. Jupiter feels like a small solar system of its own. A giant world, surrounded by dozens of moons, wrapped in endless storms, protected by an invisible magnetic field. Everything here has followed the same silent rhythm for billions of years. And we have only witnessed a tiny moment of its story. Slowly, we begin to drift away. With every passing minute, Jupiter grows a little smaller. Yet its presence still dominates the darkness behind us. Once again, the silence of deep space surrounds us. Minutes pass. Nothing changes. Then, a thin line of light appears ahead. At first, it's difficult to recognize. But as we move closer, the line grows wider. A planet, encircled by magnificent rings. Our next destination, the most elegant world in the solar system, Saturn. We continue our journey. The silence of space feels deeper than ever. Far behind us, Jupiter slowly fades into the darkness. Ahead, a faint golden light grows brighter. At first, it seems almost ordinary. Just another distant planet. But with every passing minute, something unusual begins to appear around it. A thin line. Delicate. Almost impossible to believe. As we move closer, that line becomes wider. Then another appears beside it. And another. They are not clouds. They are not shadows. They are Saturn's rings. Perhaps the most beautiful sight in our solar system. For a while, we simply watch. The rings stretch endlessly through space. From this distance, they seem perfectly smooth, like a single sheet of light floating around the planet. But appearances can be deceiving. Those graceful rings are not solid. They are made of countless pieces of ice and rock. Some are no larger than grains of sand. Others are as large as mountains. Each one travels around Saturn at incredible speed. Together, they create the breathtaking rings we see before us. As we drift closer, the gaps between the rings slowly become visible. Thin dark spaces separate one bright band from another. Each ring has its own path, its own rhythm, its own story. Sunlight reflects from the ice. Tiny fragments sparkle like millions of distant stars. No matter how long we look, the view never feels ordinary. There is a quiet elegance here, unlike anywhere else we have visited. Slowly, we approach the giant itself. Saturn grows larger with every passing moment. Its soft golden clouds begin to reveal their delicate patterns. And our journey has only just begun. Now, our attention turns toward the planet itself. Compared with Jupiter, Saturn appears calmer. Its colors are softer. Its cloud bands seem more delicate. But beneath this peaceful appearance, an extraordinary world is constantly in motion. Saturn is another gas giant. Like Jupiter, it has no solid surface waiting beneath the clouds. If we could continue descending, the atmosphere would simply become denser. The pressure would continue to rise. The temperature would slowly increase. And the clouds would surround us from every direction. The upper atmosphere is mostly hydrogen, mixed with helium, along with tiny amounts of other gases. That gives Saturn its gentle golden color. From a distance, the clouds seem almost perfectly smooth. But closer inspection tells a different story. Powerful jet streams circle the entire planet. Some of them reach speeds of nearly 1,800 kilometers per hour. Among the fastest winds anywhere in the solar system. Hidden within those clouds, massive storms appear from time to time. Some grow larger than Earth itself. One of Saturn's greatest mysteries appears near its North Pole. There, scientists discovered something unexpected. A gigantic storm, shaped like a perfect hexagon. 6 nearly straight sides, each stretching thousands of kilometers. No one fully understands why nature created such a remarkable pattern. Yet it has remained there for decades, perhaps much longer. We quietly drift above the clouds, watching light and shadow move across their gentle waves. Even here, so far from the sun, the planet feels strangely peaceful. Slowly, we change our course. Instead of heading toward the clouds, we glide toward the rings. From far away, they seemed almost solid. Now, their true nature begins to appear. There is no continuous surface, only countless pieces of ice. Some are no larger than tiny crystals. Others are the size of houses. A few are as large as mountains. Every fragment follows its own orbit. No collisions, no chaos, only an endless celestial dance. As we drift between them, the silence becomes almost overwhelming. Sunlight reflects from every icy surface. Tiny flashes of light appear and disappear around us. Some particles pass only a short distance away. Others remain far beyond our reach. The space between them is larger than most people imagine. Even inside the rings, there is more emptiness than ice. For a while, it feels as though we are floating inside a frozen river of light. Every direction offers another breathtaking view. Ahead, the rings continue far beyond the horizon. Behind us, Saturn glows softly above them. Time seems to lose its meaning. Nothing rushes. Nothing demands attention. Only quiet movement. Only light. Only space. As we continue, a wide dark gap slowly comes into view. At first, it looks like an empty space between the rings. But this is one of Saturn's most famous features: the Cassini division. From a distance, it appears almost completely dark. Yet it is not truly empty. Even here, small icy particles continue their endless journey around the planet. The gap exists because of gravity. Saturn's moons, especially Mimas, have shaped the paths of countless particles over immense stretches of time. Little by little, the rings organized themselves into the beautiful patterns we see today. Some bands are bright. Others are thin. Some are so faint they almost disappear into the darkness. Looking across the entire system, it becomes impossible not to admire its balance. Nothing here was built. Nothing was designed. Gravity alone created one of the most elegant structures in our solar system. For several quiet moments, we simply drift, watching billions of tiny worlds orbit together in perfect harmony. Leaving the rings behind, our attention shifts toward one of Saturn's smaller moons, Enceladus. Compared with Titan, or even Earth's moon, it is surprisingly small. Yet this tiny world has captured the attention of scientists around the world. From a distance, Enceladus shines like fresh snow beneath the sunlight. Its surface reflects almost all the light that reaches it, making it one of the brightest objects in the entire solar system. As we draw closer, the landscape appears smooth. Bright plains, long fractures, and frozen cliffs stretch across the surface. For a moment, everything seems completely still, silent, frozen, lifeless. But appearances can be deceiving. Near the moon's south pole, something extraordinary begins to happen. Thin white plumes rise high above the icy surface. They are not clouds. They are enormous jets of water vapor, mixed with tiny particles of ice. Some of them reach hundreds of kilometers into space. As we quietly drift nearby, the sunlight catches each frozen particle. For a brief moment, they sparkle like countless tiny diamonds. These mysterious plumes were first observed by the Cassini spacecraft. Their discovery changed the way scientists looked at this small moon, because those icy jets appear to come from a hidden ocean beneath the surface, far below the frozen crust. Liquid water is believed to flow in darkness, kept warm, not by sunlight, but by the gentle stretching of Saturn's gravity. Where there is liquid water, scientists naturally begin to wonder, could there also be life? For now, no one knows. The answer remains hidden beneath kilometers of ancient ice. Perhaps one day, another spacecraft will return and reveal what Enceladus has kept secret for billions of years. Until then, the little moon continues its quiet journey around Saturn, keeping its mysteries safely beneath the ice. And so, we continue onward. Our journey continues. Ahead, another world slowly grows larger. Titan, Saturn's largest moon. At first glance, its surface remains hidden. Unlike most moons, Titan is wrapped in a thick atmosphere. Dense layers of orange haze completely conceal the landscape below. For centuries, no one knew what lay beneath these clouds. Even through powerful telescopes, Titan kept its secrets. As we drift closer, the orange mist fills our view. Sunlight struggles to pass through it. Everything becomes softer, quieter, almost dreamlike. Eventually, we begin a slow descent. The haze gradually grows thinner, and for the first time, the surface begins to appear. What lies below looks strangely familiar. Wide plains, long valleys, dark lakes, meandering rivers. For a brief moment, it almost feels like Earth. But nothing here is quite the same. The lakes are not filled with water. Instead, they contain liquid methane and ethane. At temperatures approaching -180 degrees Celsius, these gases remain liquid, just as water does on Earth. Titan is the only world beyond our planet known to have stable lakes and seas on its surface. There are clouds here. There is rain. There are rivers. Even changing seasons. A complete weather system, operating in the deep cold of the outer solar system. We quietly pass above one of Titan's great northern seas. Its surface is astonishingly calm. The liquid reflects the faint sunlight like polished glass. Only the gentle curve of the distant shoreline breaks the silence. Some scientists believe that beneath Titan's icy crust, another hidden ocean may exist. One made of liquid water, separated from the frozen surface by countless kilometers of ice. Above us, the orange sky glows softly. The sun appears only as a dim point of light, nearly 100 times fainter than it does from Earth. Even so, a gentle light reaches the landscape, enough to reveal this extraordinary world. It is difficult not to imagine what it would feel like to stand here, to watch methane rain fall across the distant horizon, to see waves moving slowly across an alien sea, to look up and find Saturn hanging silently in the sky. A giant world, surrounded by its brilliant rings. For a long while, we simply drift above Titan. There is no hurry. Only silence. Only curiosity. Only the quiet feeling that even after all we have discovered, the universe still holds countless mysteries waiting beyond the horizon. And slowly, we continue our journey. Saturn has now disappeared into the darkness behind us. For the first time in a long while, there is nothing nearby. No giant planet. No glowing rings. No familiar moon waiting ahead. Only space. An endless, silent ocean of space. We continue forward. There is no sound. No wind. Only the steady rhythm of our journey. The stars seem brighter now. As Saturn fades from view, the universe opens in every direction. Some stars shine with a cold blue light. Others glow softly in shades of gold and red. Many of them are far larger than our own sun. Yet from here, they appear as tiny points of light. Perhaps some of the light reaching us tonight began its journey hundreds or even thousands of years ago. Only now has it finally arrived. Out here, time feels different. Minutes quietly blend into one another. Nothing rushes. Nothing asks for our attention. It is difficult to imagine the distance between the planets. Even traveling at extraordinary speed, moving from one world to the next is never a short journey. Because space is far emptier than most of us ever imagine. Between one planet and another lie millions of kilometers of silence. Within that vast emptiness, there is only the faint light of the sun, the invisible pull of gravity, and a quiet sense of peace. Every now and then, a distant asteroid drifts silently across the darkness. A lonely traveler, following the same path around the sun for billions of years. Then it, too, disappears from sight. Once again, only silence remains. The stars, the darkness, and the quiet rhythm of our journey. Perhaps that is why so many astronauts describe space with the same word. Peaceful. There are no city lights here. No sound of wind. No endless rush of time. Only a silence that feels as though it could last forever. Far ahead, a pale blue point of light slowly begins to separate itself from the stars. It is still very far away. Still little more than a faint dot in the distance. But with every passing minute, it becomes just a little clearer. A new world waits for us in silence. And without any hurry, we continue our journey toward it. Our journey continues. The pale blue light ahead grows a little brighter with every passing moment. For a long time, it seemed no different from the countless stars surrounding it. But now, its gentle color begins to reveal itself. Slowly, a new world emerges from the darkness. Uranus. Far beyond the familiar giants we have already visited. Far beyond the warmth of the inner solar system. Here, sunlight has become something entirely different. The sun is still there, still guiding every planet in its endless orbit. But from this distance, it no longer dominates the sky. It shines like an exceptionally bright star. Its light is soft, gentle, almost fragile. Even at this great distance, it is enough. Enough to illuminate a quiet world that has been patiently circling the sun for billions of years. For a while, We simply watch. There is no reason to hurry. Uranus slowly becomes larger. Unlike Jupiter, it does not greet us with enormous storms. Unlike Saturn, it does not immediately reveal magnificent rings. Instead, it waits in silence. Its color is unlike any planet we have seen before. A calm mixture of blue and green, almost like sunlight passing through clear ocean water. The closer we drift, the softer those colors become. Nothing appears sharp. Nothing appears dramatic. Everything feels peaceful, almost dreamlike. Scientists call Uranus an ice giant, not because its surface is covered with ice. In fact, there is no solid surface waiting beneath the clouds. Like Jupiter and Saturn, much of the planet is made of gas. But deep inside, conditions become very different. Water, ammonia, and methane, compressed under extraordinary pressure, forming an interior unlike anything found on Earth. The methane high above the clouds quietly shapes the planet's appearance. It absorbs much of the red light arriving from the distant sun, allowing blue light to scatter back into space, giving Uranus its unmistakable color. As we continue descending, the clouds become easier to see. At first, they seem almost featureless. Only faint bands stretch around the planet. Soft layers, barely visible. There are storms here. Powerful winds move through the atmosphere. Yet from above, everything appears calm. It is a reminder that appearances rarely tell the whole story. Sometimes, the quietest places hide remarkable secrets. We drift lower still. The sunlight is noticeably weaker than it was around Saturn. Shadows are softer. The contrast between light and darkness begins to fade. Everything is wrapped in a cool blue glow. It is strangely comforting. For a moment, it almost feels as though time itself has slowed. Nothing rushes here. Not the clouds. Not the distant sunlight. Not our journey. Far below, the atmosphere stretches deeper than the eye can follow. There is no coastline. No mountain waiting beneath the clouds. No place where land meets sky. Only layer after layer of atmosphere, each one denser than the last. The pressure increases. The temperature slowly changes. And somewhere deep below, the familiar rules of everyday life quietly disappear. No spacecraft has ever descended into these clouds. No human eyes have witnessed what lies far beneath them. Much of Uranus remains unknown. Even today, that mystery gives this distant world a unique kind of beauty. Not everything has been discovered. Not every question has been answered. The universe still keeps many of its stories to itself. As we glide above the pale blue clouds, a gentle breeze of imagination begins to take over. What would it feel like to stand here? If standing were somehow possible? To watch the distant sun glowing like a bright evening star. To see endless blue clouds stretching toward every horizon. To experience a day unlike any day on Earth. Perhaps the silence would be the first thing we noticed. No birds. No oceans. No forests moving in the wind. Only an endless atmosphere, extending far beyond sight. For several peaceful moments, we simply drift, watching delicate patterns slowly appear within the clouds. Some dissolve almost as quickly as they form. Others remain visible just long enough to remind us that even the calmest worlds are constantly changing. Behind us, the darkness of space remains endless. Ahead, the blue planet fills more of the sky with every passing minute. We have traveled an incredible distance to arrive here. And yet, it feels as though we have only just begun exploring this remarkable world. Quietly, we continue forward. There is still so much waiting to be discovered. We continue our gentle journey above the clouds. From this distance, Uranus appears almost perfectly peaceful. Its pale blue atmosphere stretches endlessly beneath us. There are no towering storms demanding our attention. No brilliant rings dominating the view. Only quiet movement. Only soft light. Only the steady turning of a distant world. As we watch, something begins to feel unusual. It is difficult to notice at first. Nothing seems out of place. Yet the longer we observe, the more we realize that Uranus is unlike every other planet we have visited. Most planets spin like a child's toy. Their poles point more or less upward as they travel around the Sun. Uranus chose a different path. Long ago, something extraordinary may have happened. Scientists believe that billions of years ago, during the early days of the solar system, a world perhaps twice the size of Earth collided with Uranus. The impact would have been almost impossible to imagine. A collision powerful enough to change the entire planet forever. Instead of standing upright, Uranus was left lying on its side. Today, it spins with an axial tilt of almost 98 degrees. If we could watch its rotation from far away, it would seem less like a spinning globe, and more like a great blue sphere gently rolling around the Sun. For a few quiet moments, we simply imagine that distant event. The young solar system was a far more violent place than it is today. Worlds collided. Moons formed. Asteroids crashed into growing planets. Out of that chaos, the peaceful Uranus we see today was born. Its unusual position has shaped everything about this planet. Even its seasons. On Earth, a season lasts only a few months. Here, one season continues for about 21 years. Imagine watching the Sun slowly rise, knowing it may not set again for decades. Then imagine another place on the same planet, waiting just as long for daylight to return. At certain times during Uranus's long journey around the Sun, one pole faces almost directly toward the light. The other remains hidden in darkness. Year after year, only much later, do they slowly exchange places. Nothing happens quickly here. Everything unfolds with extraordinary patience. We continue drifting through the upper atmosphere. The sunlight is so distant now that even daytime feels gentle. The clouds glow with a quiet blue light. Soft shadows move across their surface. There is no urgency. Only slow change. Only time. Even the winds seem to follow their own quiet rhythm. Some race through the atmosphere at remarkable speeds. Yet from above, the planet still appears calm. Its silence is almost convincing. But Uranus continues to surprise us. Hidden far beyond the clouds, another mystery quietly surrounds the planet. Its magnetic field. Most planetary magnetic fields are centered deep within the planet. They rise near one pole and return through the other. Uranus refuses to follow that pattern. Its magnetic field is tilted at an unexpected angle. It is also shifted far away from the planet's center. As Uranus slowly turns, its invisible magnetic field twists through space in strange and unpredictable ways. If we could see it with our own eyes, it might appear like a giant, constantly changing ribbon, wrapping and bending around the planet. Even after decades of research, scientists are still trying to understand exactly why it behaves this way. Perhaps the answer lies somewhere deep below the atmosphere, hidden beneath layers of water, ammonia, and methane, a place no spacecraft has ever reached. For now, the mystery remains. And somehow, that feels appropriate. Not every world needs to reveal all of its secrets. Some are beautiful precisely because they remain unknown. As we continue our silent flight, the pale blue clouds drift beneath us. The distant sun watches from billions of kilometers away. Behind us, the rest of the solar system feels unimaginably far. Ahead, only Uranus fills our view. A quiet giant, turning gently on its side, keeping its ancient secrets, waiting patiently for those willing to slow down and simply watch. Our journey continues. The pale blue clouds slowly drift beneath us. For a while, nothing changes. The silence surrounding Uranus feels deeper than anywhere we have traveled before. Then, almost without warning, something begins to appear against the darkness. At first, it is only a faint line, so faint that it almost disappears into space. As we draw closer, more lines emerge beside it. Thin, dark, delicate. Unlike Saturn's brilliant rings, these are quiet. They do not reflect the sunlight with dazzling brightness. Instead, they seem to absorb the darkness around them. For centuries, no one even knew they existed. They remained hidden until astronomers noticed distant starlight briefly disappearing as Uranus passed in front of it. The stars revealed what human eyes could not. A family of narrow rings, silently circling the planet. We gently change our course. Rather than remaining above the atmosphere, we begin drifting toward the rings themselves. They grow larger with every passing minute. From a distance, they appeared almost continuous. Now, their true nature becomes clear. Countless fragments travel together. Pieces of ancient ice, dark rocks, dust that has circled Uranus for ages beyond memory. Some fragments are no larger than pebbles. Others are much larger. Yet each one quietly follows its own path. No sound. No collision. Only gravity guiding every movement. We pass between them. Sunlight reaches this far only as a gentle glow. The icy fragments never sparkle like Saturn's rings. Instead, they appear soft and shadowed, as though they belong to the darkness itself. For several peaceful moments, we simply drift through this silent corridor. Above us, the pale blue planet fills half the sky. Below, space stretches endlessly into blackness. It is impossible not to feel how far we have come. Far from Earth. Far from the warmth of the sun. Far from everything familiar. Eventually, the rings begin to fade behind us. Another destination waits ahead. A small moon. At first, it looks unremarkable. A rough gray sphere quietly orbiting its distant planet. But appearances can be deceiving. This is Miranda, one of the strangest worlds in the solar system. As we approach, its surface slowly comes into focus. Nothing looks ordinary. Bright cliffs suddenly give way to deep valleys. Ancient craters lie beside enormous ridges. Smooth plains appear without warning, then disappear just as quickly. It is almost as though several different worlds have been stitched together. Scientists have spent decades trying to understand this remarkable landscape. One possibility is almost impossible to imagine. Long ago, Miranda may have been shattered by a tremendous collision, broken into countless pieces, then slowly pulled back together by its own gravity. No one knows for certain if that is what truly happened. But looking across its extraordinary surface, it is easy to understand why the idea remains so compelling. We drift lower. One feature immediately captures our attention. A cliff unlike any other. Verona Rupees. One of the tallest known cliffs in the entire solar system. Its immense walls rise for nearly 20 kilometers. On Earth, no mountain or cliff comes close to such a height. Standing here, if standing were possible, the edge would disappear into the darkness below. The bottom would be almost impossible to see. For a few quiet moments, we simply hover nearby. There is no movement, no wind sweeping across the rocks, no flowing water, only ancient stone, frozen in time. Miranda feels less like a moon, and more like a forgotten memory from the earliest days of the solar system. A place shaped by unimaginable forces, then left untouched for billions of years. Slowly, we begin to rise once more. The remarkable landscape grows smaller beneath us. Ahead, other moons quietly continue their endless journey around Uranus. Each one has its own story. Each one has waited billions of years for a visitor. And our journey is far from over, leaving Miranda behind. Our journey carries us farther into the quiet family of moons surrounding Uranus. One by one, they continue their endless paths around the distant planet. Each follows its own orbit. Each moves with quiet patience. Together, they have circled Uranus for billions of years. Our next destination slowly comes into view. Ariel. Long before we arrive, its bright surface catches what little sunlight reaches this far from the sun. Compared with Miranda, Ariel feels calmer. Its landscape appears more balanced, more familiar. As we drift closer, Long valleys begin to stretch across the surface. Some run for hundreds of kilometers. Their gentle curves hint at a past that was far more active than it seems today. Scientists believe that deep within Ariel, heat once shaped this world. Frozen ice may have cracked apart. Water mixed with other materials could have risen from below, slowly freezing again across the surface. Even now, some regions look surprisingly young, as though time moved differently here. For several peaceful moments, we simply follow the edge of one great valley. Its walls cast long shadows across the frozen ground. Everything is still. Nothing disturbs the silence. Eventually, Ariel slips quietly behind us. Another moon waits ahead. Umbriel. At first glance, it appears much darker, less reflective, almost hidden within the darkness surrounding Uranus. As we approach, ancient impact craters begin to cover the landscape. Some overlap one another, each one marking an event that happened long before life appeared on Earth. Unlike Ariel, very little here seems to have changed. Umbriel has spent billions of years quietly preserving its history. There is something peaceful about its stillness. Nothing asks to be noticed. Nothing competes for attention. It simply exists. A silent witness to the earliest days of the solar system. For a while, we remain beside it, watching sunlight gently touch the edges of its ancient craters. Then, we continue onward. Soon, the largest moon of Uranus rises before us. Titania. Even from a distance, its size becomes apparent. Its broad surface stretches beneath us as we slowly pass overhead. Great cliffs divide frozen plains. Enormous fault valleys cut across the landscape. Some extend farther than the eye can comfortably follow. Scientists believe Titania may once have been warmer inside. As the interior slowly cooled, the moon expanded ever so slightly. Its icy crust cracked under the strain, leaving behind the enormous canyons we see today. The scars remain, quiet reminders that even frozen worlds continue to change. As we drift above them, the cliffs seem almost endless. There is no sound echoing through these valleys. Only silence. Only time. Leaving Titania behind, one final companion approaches. Oberon, the outermost of Uranus's major moons. More distant, more isolated. It feels almost as though it prefers to remain alone. Its surface is covered with countless craters. Some reveal bright material beneath the darker ice. Others have rested unchanged for unimaginable lengths of time. The farther we travel, the darker the surrounding space appears. The sun has become little more than a brilliant star. Its warmth can no longer be imagined. Yet even here, its light gently reaches Oberon's frozen surface, enough to reveal a quiet beauty that few worlds possess. For several peaceful moments, we drift between these silent moons. Looking back, Uranus hangs in the darkness. A pale blue world surrounded by companions that have never known another home. Each moon tells a different story. Yet together, they remind us of something simple. Even the quietest corners of the solar system are filled with wonder. Slowly, we turn once more toward the blue giant. There is only one final chapter left before our journey continues beyond this distant world. For a long while, we simply remain where we are. There is nothing left to discover in a hurry. Everything Uranus wished to reveal, it has already shared with us. The pale blue planet hangs quietly before us. Its soft colors seem even gentler now. Perhaps because we have spent so much time here. Or perhaps because every distant world begins to feel familiar once we slow down long enough to understand it. We take one last look. The clouds continue their silent journey around the planet. Far beyond them, invisible winds still circle the atmosphere. Its moons continue their endless orbits. Miranda, Ariel, Umbriel, Titania, Oberon, each one following the same quiet path they have traveled for billions of years. Nothing has changed. Nothing needed to. The solar system asks for nothing more than patience. For a few peaceful moments, we simply watch. The silence feels different now. It is no longer the silence of the unknown. It is the silence of a place that has welcomed us, and now quietly watches us leave. Slowly, our journey begins once more. At first, it is almost impossible to notice the movement. Uranus remains nearly the same size. Then, minute by minute, the distance quietly grows. The blue world slowly becomes smaller. Its rings fade long before the planet itself. Their dark lines disappear into the blackness of space. Soon, only the planet remains. A single sphere of soft blue light, floating alone in the immense darkness. The farther we travel, the more isolated Uranus appears. It is easy to forget how enormous it truly is. Without nearby worlds for comparison, even a giant planet can seem small against the endless universe. We continue forward. The stars remain perfectly still. No sound reaches us. No wind follows behind. Only the gentle rhythm of our journey continues. The sun has become astonishingly distant. It no longer feels like the center of the solar system. It is simply another bright light among countless others, warm enough to guide these distant planets, too far away to fill the darkness. For a moment, it is difficult to tell where the solar system ends and where the rest of the universe begins. Everything around us feels endless. The silence stretches in every direction. Time loses its meaning once again. Minutes drift quietly into one another. Nothing rushes. Nothing changes. And somehow, that stillness becomes its own kind of beauty. We look back one final time. Uranus is now only a small blue light, patiently circling the distant sun, just as it has done for billions of years. It will continue long after our journey has moved on, long after new explorers arrive, long after countless generations have looked toward the outer solar system with curiosity. Some worlds leave us with excitement. Others leave us with questions. Uranus leaves us with something different. A sense of quiet. A reminder that the universe does not always reveal its wonders through brilliant colors or dramatic storms. Sometimes, its greatest beauty is found in stillness. As we continue through the darkness, another faint point of light slowly separates itself from the stars ahead. It is only a tiny blue glow, so distant that it almost disappears each time we look away. There is still a very long journey before we reach it, and that is perfectly all right. For now, we simply continue forward, carried by the silence, surrounded by the stars, leaving the quiet blue world gently behind us.